Now, the softer rand is expected to weaken to a 13-year low against the dollar. Mabyanine Phiri, he's a portfolio associate at ACM Gold, joins us to give us some insights. So thank you so much for making the time to join us. Give us the context, especially in terms of the global play. Yeah. And bringing in the Fed and the interest rate hike timing and how that's going to feed into our own currency strength back home.
Yeah, so obviously we've seen what has happened to the rand since Friday last week, and the concern is that the main reason for this is obviously the Fed is now indicating that it's almost the right time for it to take a hawkish stance and start raising interest rates. And as a result, we've seen the rand struggle and obviously depreciate against the dollar. But I don't think it's unique to the rand. I mean, we've seen quite a lot of emerging market currencies also weakening against the dollar. I mean, since December 22, since December last year, we've had about 22 currencies depreciating for by more than 4%. So South Africa does have its own challenges, but I think it is the worst affected out of the emerging market currencies.
I think just locally, if you look in terms of our neighboring and one of the biggest economies in Africa, Nigeria, last month I think the rand held pretty well up before Friday. The Naira and the Kwacha all losing about 6%. But if you also look at it, your gold shares today just took a big hammering, 5% above. What do you think caused that?
Well, look, I mean, in the last 18 months, the commodities market or any investments in commodities haven't been that attractive. And South Africa being a major producer of that, there's sort of a negative feedback in terms of that. And gold has, for the last even 24 months, we've seen quite a significant plummet in the price of gold. So nothing surprising for me in terms of the gold price. I see it sort of, there was a good support at about $1,200 an ounce, but then that point was broken quite significantly, and now it's sort of trying to seek another support level. But I mean, to me, it hasn't been a surprise at all. We've seen this trend, and it's been quite consistent over the couple of years.
Let's bring the euro into this conversation, in particular today being a very special day in terms of the beginning of the bond buying program. I think we'll remember the 9th of March 2015 for many, many years to come. How does that then, and especially the interplay between the euro and the dollar, what does it mean for South African firms doing business in the Eurozone and the like?
Well, look, I mean, South Africa trades with Europe, and it is a major trade partner. And so, obviously, what has been happening in the euro area has been affecting South Africa. And there is, I mean, we don't see any... the euro is not going to recover anytime soon, and that's definitely also having some pressure on South Africa. Now, with the bond buying and the QE program, I think that also saw the euro plummet in the last couple of months, and the announcement to that. So it's obviously having an impact on South Africa as a key trade partner, firstly, and secondly also as the US sort of moves towards QE, towards interest rate, interest rate hike. Right. We're sort of seeing the effects that it's having on South Africa. We've seen that with the rand as an example.
Mabyanine, we definitely need to have you come back for a longer time. Unfortunately, Joseph has given me the look of death. The time is up. I can't let you ask another question. But Mabyanine, thank you so much for making the time to join us. He is a portfolio associate at ACM Gold.